What's cooking, everybody? It's Dor, and in this video I'll be showing you how to fully upgrade the Colossus in No Man's Sky. The Colossus is a large exocraft that has 42 slots, making it a perfect vehicle for gathering and storing resources. I will of course be handling how to unlock the Colossus itself, as well as the tech you need to fully upgrade it. I will also be sharing a location to get S-Class upgrade modules for your exocraft, as well as taking a closer look at placing all the tech to get the best adjacency bonuses possible on this exocraft. And so without any further ado, let's get straight into it. In order to unlock the Colossus Exocraft, you will need to reach the construction research station aboard the Anomaly. On the transport modules page, you can unlock the Geobay for the Colossus. You will have to unlock the Roamer Geobay first though. After doing so, the Colossus Geobay will cost you 8 salvage data. Alternatively, you could unlock the Roamer Geobay, Nomad Geobay, and eventually the Colossus Geobay via the Exocraft Technician side quest. For the Exocraft technology, you will want to stay on the Anomaly and approach Iteration Perseus. Here you can unlock all Exocraft techs for 120 nanites apiece. You will however unlock this entire section also by completing the Exocraft Technician side quest. So I would definitely recommend doing so, as it will save you a ton of nanites and of course some salvage data. The only items you will still have to unlock with nanites are the different Exocraft hazard protection units, which will cost you 120 nanites apiece, making the total 480 nanites. So once you have all the tech unlocked, it is of course time to install it. Approach your Colossus and get into it to make it your primary exocraft. You will find that the fusion engine, the exocraft mining laser and the exocraft accelerator are already pre-installed. You want to move the fusion engine to the slot right here, the exocraft mining laser to the slot right here, and the exocraft acceleration module to the slot right here. The exocraft mining laser will of course allow you to mine materials from within your exocraft. It is a pretty good laser, as you can already see in this example right here, before adding any upgrades. Once it is fully upgraded though, it will literally shred through anything. Next up, you would want to install the Exocraft mounted cannon right here for 100 copper and 50 pugnium. This will allow you to attack and defend things, such as sentinels. I would have to say that the placement of this cannon is a bit awkward, as it is very high up, so you will find yourself often backing up to make sure that your shots are actually hitting their target. It does do a fair bit amount of damage, especially when they are fully upgraded, with crits hitting up to 1860. Do note that in both examples for the mining laser and the Exocraft cannon, the upgrade modules I had installed weren't maxed out, so it could go even higher. Next up, install any of the hazard protection modules in the slot right here. So I'm placing the megawatt heater right here, which will cost me 50 uranium, 80 phosphorus and 1 wiring loom. This will prevent you from taking damage in cold climates. Right below it, I installed the air filtration unit for 5 carbon nanotubes, 160 copper and 1 wiring loom. This will of course shield you in toxic environments. Now it is worth noting that these shields will protect your exocraft. They will not drain over time, so there's no need to recharge them with batteries as well. Next up, in the slots all the way to the left, you will want to install the exocraft signal boosters. The regular one costs 1 microprocessor and 50 chromatic metal. Open up the exocraft signal booster from the quick menu to be able to scan for depots. Install the advanced signal booster right below it for 2 iron batteries, 100 chromatic metal and 2 microprocessors. This will increase your scanner range with 100%, plus it will allow you to also scan for drop pods and for abandoned structures. Right below them, install the Exocraft Signal Booster Upgrade Tau for 2 iron batteries, 150 chromatic metal and 50 gold. This will once again up the Exocraft Signal Booster with 100%, as well as give you the options to scan for a trade outpost, for ruins and for alien structures. In this single slot right here, you want to install the Exocraft Mining Laser Upgrade Sigma. This will cost you 50 chromatic metal and 50 pugnium. This will upgrade your mining laser with 62%, as well as allow you to harvest heavy materials. Install the remaining shields in the 2 slots right next to it. Install the neutron shielding for 95 deuterium, 50 ionized cobalt and 1 wiring loom to be protected from radioactive environments. And right below it, install the thermal buffer for 2 hermetic seals, 80 dioxide and 1 wiring loom to also be protected from heat. Now you will notice that the shields do not have an adjacency bonus from one another. That's the reason why I placed them like this, to fill up the slots and not place them in a group next to each other. And finally, you want to install the Icarus fuel system in the bottom slot right here. This will cost you 2 microprocessors, 3 storm crystals and 2 wiring loom, and it will allow your Exocraft to recharge during the day. So this is what your final setup should look like. We will of course install all the gaps between all tech with upgrade modules. For this you'll need to head up to the Exocraft technology merchant aboard the space station. You can go to the system I'm using, for which I'll show the glyphs on screen. This system carries S-Class upgrade modules for the Exocraft engine as well as for the Exocraft's boost. As you can place up to 3 of these upgrade modules per tech type. Before getting overloaded, you will want to return to your starship and get in and out of it to create an autosave. Reload the autosave, and when you're back in the game, head up to the Exocraft Technology Merchant again to see that its stock has been refilled. Purchase all upgrades until you have 3 of each type. While I'm doing so, I want to ask you to please leave a thumbs up if you liked the video, let me know in the comments down below what you did most, and please subscribe to see more No Man's Sky content in the future. So for the upgrades of the 2 remaining tech types I will visit this system. Glyphs are again on screen. You'll find that the technology merchant here has S-Class upgrade modules for the Exocraft laser as well as for the Exocraft cannon. Again of course purchase them and go in and out of your starship to create an autosave and repeat the process until you have 3 of each upgrade module. So when you have all 12 upgrade modules, it's time of course to install them in your Exocraft. I will leave all the minimum and maximum stats per S-Class upgrade on screen for you. You will of course want to make sure that your upgrade modules are as close as possible to these stats to have maximum results. So of course you will want to install your Exocraft engine modules around the Exocraft engine. Install the Exocraft boost modules around the Exocraft boost in a square shape. Install the Exocraft laser modules around the Exocraft laser. This will of course also form a square with the added A-class laser upgrade on the right. And finally install the upgrade modules for the cannon in a square shape around the cannon. So this is the best setup if you want to make full use of your Colossus Exocraft and will still leave you with 17 empty slots. You could still install the suspension upgrade modules if you'd like. I will go over them briefly to show you what effect they will have on your Exocraft and of course what they cost to install. Install the drift suspension for 50 paraffinium, 50 magnetized ferrite and 1 wiring loom. This will increase your forward grip with 200%, but will reduce your angular grip with 34%. Install the grip boost suspension for 50 tritium, 50 magnetized ferrite and 1 wiring loom. This will decrease your forward grip with 50%, but increase your angular grip with 110%. And finally, you can install the high slide suspension for 50 dioxide, 50 magnetized ferrite and 1 wiring loom. This will decrease your forward grip with 50% and your angular grip with 34%. Now I've seen a lot of people install all 3 of them like so to get adjacency bonus of these suspensions as well. But in my opinion, this doesn't make any sense and it will leave you with less empty slots. So for your viewing pleasure and for science, I've decided to test this. So on the left you'll see the fully upgraded Colossus without any suspension upgrades, and on the right with all 3 suspension upgrades installed. And they both came in at the exact same time on my new Exocraft test track. So I also decided to do some cornering to see if it has any effect on the grip or slidiness of the Colossus Exocraft. But due to it being very large and having 8 wheels, it doesn't slide at all. So I would definitely not recommend uninstalling all 3 of them. If you do want one of them installed though, I would do so in this slot. This will still leave you with 16 empty slots. I also tested all the suspension types on their own, so it will be easier for you to make up your mind on which one you would want to use. So in this side-by-side comparison on my test track, you'll see that the drift suspension comes in first at 1228, followed by the high slide suspension at 1315 and the grip boost suspension at 1317. And again, in the cornering test, I didn't see this thing slide at all, no matter which suspension I used, so I wouldn't even bother with trying to achieve this. So in conclusion, as I have also fully upgraded my Exocraft roamer, if you haven't seen the video yet, I would suggest to check it out. I decided to deinstall all the Exocraft signal boosters from my Colossus, as these are already installed on my roamer. I can easily switch between the 2 of them if I want to scan for something. This is purely to free up more slots on my Colossus, as I will only use it to harvest and to store materials in. Next I moved the megawatt heater and the air filtration unit to the slots right here. Use this empty slot right above it to install the drift suspension. I know this sounds a bit weird, as I said this thing doesn't slide at all, but this will give you the 200% increase in forward grip. I then also decided to dismantle the Exocraft mounted cannon and all its upgrade modules. I really think the combat in this thing feels really awkward as the cannon is really high up, and like I said earlier, you just find yourself backing up to make sure you hit your shots, which is really inconvenient. I also have already installed the cannon on my roamer, so I will just use that if I want to battle from within my Exocraft. So of course, utilizing this setup doesn't mean your Colossus is an all-round Exocraft, and you will need to switch between one another to reach the full potential of the Exocrafts. This will however leave you with 23 empty slots for you to gather and store materials in. And that was all actually on my video of upgrading the Colossus Exocraft in No Man's Sky. So which setup are you going to use? Are you going to take full advantage of the many slots the Colossus have to offer? Or are you going for a more complete build on the Colossus? Let me know in the comments down below, and I hope you enjoyed the video and to see you in the next one.